What's up, everybody? This is PJ2Kills coming at you again with 15 tips and tricks for noobs or even players who are just looking to learn a few new ways or old ways to start making it into the top 10 or better without having to get a lot of kills. Before we get started, don't forget to hit that subscribe and that like button. This game's taken from me doing quads the other day, came in second, and due to mismanagement of the end circle, that's why I picked this, so that I could show you at the end where we mismanaged. So let's get started. Number 1, do not drop hot. It's the worst thing you can do. That's where the sweaty players and the best players who are just looking for kills, not wins per se, just kills for that game, or they are good enough to get that kill off the very first drop and make it all the way to the end circle. So, unless that's you, I wouldn't recommend dropping hot. Number 2, always pick your place pretty well off the flight plan, meaning go farther from the flight line than you would normally. That will give you an opportunity to collect yourself, get yourself guns, body armor, etc., anything you need to be able to get into a fight that you feel secure in. This will bring us to number 3. Get familiar with at least 2 different places. This will take dying some, I'm sure, but get to know and put to memory these places. Make sure these places have enough loot for you and your squad if you have a squad. This will increase your chances of survival, if nothing else. It'll get you enough loot to get into those fights and enough throwables or any other loot that you might need to feel secure getting into those fights. Number 4, really put a map areas to memory. Other players already have done this, or they are doing it now. Do anything that will give you an edge over your competition. Your competitors are always looking for that edge. That means that every single game that they play, they're fine-tuning their skills. They're looking for these things to do better. They're learning from their mistakes. They're learning from those kill cams. They're watching each and every player after they're done to see who they're playing against. I mean, these guys are fully with it. So, I mean, the people you're playing against, they're putting in time to this game. They're not playing it as a game. They're playing it as, 1, their job half the time, and 2, they're just playing it because they want to be the best. So, only one can win out of 99. So just remember that, guys and girls. Number 5, learn and get to know what kind of player you are. This is huge. If you don't know who you are and how you like to play, you're really missing out a lot already, because you're probably doing things backwards or forwards or sideways each and every time, but you're probably doing it different each and every time. So unless you've already been playing only a few times, but if you've played hundreds of times and you've tried all these guns and you've done all these things, you pretty much should know what you're looking for and what you like. So, if you're a sniper, loot for that. Only loot sniper stuff. Don't sit there and try to loot pistols and handguns and SMGs and all these other things when you just want to look for sniper. So, don't waste your time on the extra stuff. Get guns, of course, but make sure you're not just looting just to be looting. Don't keep your face down when you could be getting into a fight, trying to pick up another gun or trying to find another attachment. So, you really need to know those things. This will bring me to number 6. Know what you're looking for. Which is then like the last one. Look what you like. Loot for what you like. Don't over loot, because the key word is over looting. If you're picking up too much stuff and you end up getting killed face down in a bag, which I've seen too many times, and had happened to me when I first started playing way too many times, just because I'm keeping my face down, I'm not moving. You know, you really got to look and know what you're looking for in the bags, how to move through the bags. So if you are killing people, learn how to loot through that bag quickly. Run away from it a little bit every once in a while. You know, come back to it, do those type of things, circle a little bit, do anything that instead of just sitting there or laying on the ground looking through a bag, because that's what snipers look for. They look for people laying on the ground looking through a bag or sitting still looking through a bag. So don't end up getting killed face down in a bag. It's real hard to deal with when you're in the lobby thinking about getting face down in that bag, because you didn't get none of that loot anyways. So number 7, know when to use vehicles and when to ditch them and just go on foot. This is crucial, guys and girls, towards the end of the circle. Most likely, most players have mesh mines, and by then it's the people who are ready to use them and know how to use them. So all you're going to do is end up back in the lobby way too fast. You're going to end up being way too sad. Because I'll tell you right now, you are not going to be a happy camper if you sit there and die because you got mesh mined in your car. So remember that. Nobody likes to get shot to death, grenaded, or mesh mined right out of their car. So number 8, live on the outer edge of the circle, meaning push with the circle at your back or collapsing close on your back at the edge of the circle. This is real key, guys and girls. You want to really stay focused on where that circle is, where it's collapsing to, where that short edge of the circle is, the tighter spot where it has a little bit smaller of an area that you can go into. You always want to do a big wide circle when you're coming to that end circle, when you're doing things like that, because next thing you know, you're going to have people coming up on you from behind, and they're not going to be suspecting anything except for boom, there you are right in front of them, easy kill, because you're not expecting them either. So when you have your back to the circle that you've already checked, you know no one's coming through that circle, you know no one's going to whip around and do it. A wide circle just to get you through the blue, I'm very doubtful of that. So really be careful where you are of your surroundings and what you're doing when it comes to that end circle. It's crucial when it comes down to the end circles as well, because the smaller they get, the tighter it is, the more players that end up being in such a small area. So you really don't want to get stuck like that. You really want to pay attention to what you're doing and where you're doing it at. So number 9, never stop moving. I know I stopped moving a lot in this, but I was paying attention to a lot of different things, trying to talk to my squad mates and figure out what we were going to do, where we were going to go. So trying to rifle through these attachments, because like I said, one of the guns I'm really not a fan of, the Rampart, but it's what I've been getting stuck with lately, so it's been working. But with the never stop moving, learn to repair that armor and heal on the move, as well as sliding and jumping, because you can do that all while you're sliding, while you're jumping. You're still healing, you're still repairing, well, maybe not repairing armor as far as jumping and stuff, but you definitely want to learn to keep the move. If you're repairing armor, if you're pretty much doing anything, even looting bags, like I said, you can sit there and pretty much do anything and still move. So the only thing that it's easy to hit is a stop target, and nobody wants to be that easy target just standing there in the middle of the field or standing in the middle of a room and just getting shot back to the lobby. It's definitely the worst thing that you can possibly do and possibly have happen to you. And especially in gunfights, keep moving. doing something so that that guy never has a perfect clean shot on you. This works for up close and far away. Always keep moving back and forth, keep moving forward, keep doing something, but you always want to be moving. Number 10, if you don't have earbuds or headphones, stop playing the game right now. Go out, get some this minute. Even the ones that come with your phone, your regular earbuds that come with your phone. Because hearing is key in this game. Most people, they die because they cannot hear the guys or ladies running up on them. So you have to remember, you can hear footsteps minus dead silence on. You can hear people's grapples. You can hear people running. You can hear people walking in this game if you had earphones or earbuds in. So the better they are, the more you can hear. So remember that. That's why they have such expensive ones, because they hear everything. And they let you know when they're way far away. Like if you could be as far as that guy just was, and you'll hear him like he's right next to you, and in the direction that he's coming in. So it gives you a big advantage to be able to hear where these people are coming from, what they're doing, where they're doing it. So just remember that. Hearing is key. Number 11. Always be close to some sort of cover, just in case you run across a sniper. Excuse me. You never want to get caught just running in the middle of an open field. Now remember, guys and girls, running in an open field is like asking for death. You can literally run across an open field and, 50-50 chance, get shot to death. And almost every single time I've run across an open field, I've gotten into some sort of bad gunfight or just been sniped. So I truly stay out of open fields. This is for truly good advice. You definitely don't want to get caught in open fields. They're just bad places to be, bad places to get caught in. Definitely don't want to do it. So remember that. Do not do the open fields unless you have a car or you're stuck there. And even then, run to the trees so you're not just dead in the open. So this is now going to bring us to number 12. Excuse me, I got to get a drink of water real quick. Number 12. Always use your perks at the right time. Learn how they work and for how long. Don't be afraid to use them. Most guys will have some sort of perks on them that you can take off of them after you kill them. If not, that's what they're going to be doing to you after you die, because they use their mobility, dead silence, the paranoia, the awareness, or reinforced, or any other one that might get an edge on you to get over on you. Learn the ones you like and only pick those up. Never waste room in your bag that you could have a frag grenade in instead of some iron lungs, unless you're using it for a sniper and you really want to be able to hold your breath longer, because that's about all it does, unless you want to be an Olympic swimmer, which I don't think they give any merits in this game for swimming. So I wouldn't recommend just picking iron lungs and stuff like that up unless you have a real reason to use it. Which, like I said, if you're a sniper, it helps you to hold your breath longer, which means you're going to get a little bit longer of a steadier aim. So that it works. Like I said, you need to know your perks and what they do all the time. Always have some on, especially if you're coming near a gunfight, if you're in the final circles, because you never know when you're going to run across that dude, and that dead silence could keep you quiet, and he could be looking around the other way, and you're just walking right up on him. It is truly a good feeling not to be heard sometimes, or that paranoia when it starts going off in the direction that somebody's aiming at you before they've already shot you. It just lets you know right when you're aiming at somebody and where they're aiming from. So it definitely gives you an advantage if you have that perk on and somebody's trying to shoot you from the back or from the front in a sniper position and you don't see them and you're totally unaware. It'll give you some sort of awareness. So this brings us to number 13. If you run across a gunfight, you don't have good positioning, and you can't push him for some reason, stop and go reposition, get a better place to fight him. If he does push you after you disengage, it is better to live than to try and fight an unwinnable battle. Meaning, if you disengaged and he keeps pushing you, then definitely turn around and fight this man. But if he's far enough away from you and you just have bad positioning, you're in some sort of open field with only a little bit of cover, and he's got the upper part of the hill and he's got the high ground, and you're sitting there at the bottom, you definitely don't want to get stuck in there for too long. You want to get out of there, you want to reposition, you want to get some sort of good cover, you want to redo whatever you were doing, rethink whatever you were thinking, and then get back to the game at hand. Because the point of this game is surviving to the end, not fighting everyone that you see on everyone else's terms. So we got to remember, sometimes every gun battle isn't always the best gun battle. We got to remember, positioning is key, especially when you're getting down to the final circle, and you really want to pay attention to that final circle and where you are in it. Because like I said, having high ground is key. Losing that high ground will get you killed, just like it does us over here. You'll see pretty soon. I'll let you guys know when it's coming up. And this brings us to number 14. Never get stuck in a house or a building at the end of the circle. If you can help it, at least. It's better to keep moving. Ideally, you want the top of the hillside, like I was saying earlier, and always get the high ground, which means think about where to move before you already have to move. Because if you're already having to move because the circle's forcing you, and you're realizing that you're on low ground and there's a big hill next to you, just like how it ends up being right here, it's going to be so bad for you, and it's so hard to win fights like this, especially, when they have the upper hand and they're just shooting down on you. As you can see, this is where we get into a gunfight. I have to kill these dudes from up top, because they're sitting there up top killing my teammates who are unsuspecting, and then they're yelling for me to help. So I have to come up there and help them win this gunfight, because, like I said, we chose to come to the low ground because I could have swore I seen the team down there. So I ended up heading down that way because, like I said, I messed up, left the high ground when we could have just pushed up there. Instead, we went down this way to try and flush that last team out that I saw. There was only about 5 or 6 people left, including us, I think, at this point. So let me get to number 15, because up here is where we end up losing because of the mismanagement of that hill right there. So number 15, last but maybe most important, look up players on YouTube, Mixer, Twitch, whichever platform you use, watch them. See how they play, watch how they push, what fights they take, which ones they don't engage. Learn from their victories, their defeats, and their mistakes as well. So you always want to learn from everyone else's mistakes or their accomplishments. Because like I said, you definitely don't want to end up like this, getting shot to death third party from 2 different ways, trying to find cover because there's no cover there in the blue. My teammates over here trying to do whatever, ends up getting third party from the side as well. We both die, and then my teammate ends up killing the guy who were down here. Like I said, I knew there was another team down here, but there was also another team up here as well. So they kept the high ground. They paid more attention to where they be at the end circle, and me and my teammates didn't. We ended up being on the low ground. We ended up pushing the team that we shouldn't have pushed, and we ended up losing that gunfight. Well, I lost that gunfight. My teammate actually won these gunfights, and then but ends up losing the final gunfight at the bottom because, like I said, he mismanaged that hill because he came down to kill this team rather than take care of that last team up there that was on top of the hill and then pushed down while we had top part of the hill and the higher ground. So as you can see, the blue actually forces my teammate up. He had everything he needed, but when the circle collapses and you're looking at, people on the top of a hill, it's harder to find them. They're shooting down on you. As you can see, it's not so easy. He picked a bush for cover instead of a tree. So I didn't quite understand that one because he could have just went up to the tree and did that. But like I said, got forced out of the blue and got picked off. So that's the end of that. And I hope you liked the video. Hit the subscribe button. Hit the like button. And this is PJ2 Kills. And I'll see you on the flip side.